My name is Brian Cox, but most people know me as the travel vlogger. I'm always in search of extraordinary experiences, and on this adventure, I'll be biking over 700 kilometers across the Czech Republic. Come with me to see what makes this destination so special.
What's up, travel lovers? Today is day one of our epic journey biking across the Czech Republic. Right now we're in Františkovy Lázně, and we're going to be riding 30 kilometers and seeing a castle, a volcano, and the town of Cheb. So let's get the bikes ready and get this party started. Come on.
So we packed the bikes, put on some sunscreen, and headed to our first location. So we left Františkovy Lázně in the direction of Seeberg Castle, which would be 8.1 kilometers. Before we knew it, we were at our first stop.
Seeberg.
Or as Americans would say, Seeberg Castle.
This castle is super old, dating back to the late 12th or early 13th century. We wandered around for about 45 minutes, checking out the exhibits, and even learned that the region is famous for producing porcelain, with some sets worth thousands of dollars.
What's your thought on the castle?
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
We still have a lot more to see, so we left the castle, jumped back on the bikes, and headed to a volcano, which was only 7.8 kilometers down the road.
It's kind of funny. You bring people here and tell them you're going to visit the volcano, then they get here and they're like, where is the volcano? So this is just that's the really small example of a volcano, basically. But the thing is, why it's interesting is that a lot of scientists were coming here like back in the late 18th century because they could just explore what a volcano is on a small scale, and then it helped them to understand how it works on a larger scale.
Somehow, Hůrka convinced us to drag our bikes to the top.
It's getting pretty heavy with our gear.
There wasn't a great view, and for the most part, it just looked like a big hill with lots of trees. We couldn't see any signs of a volcano, but it was a nice rest in the shade as we learned more about the importance this tiny volcano had on today's theories of volcanism.
The titillating thing about this volcano is that it's two of the youngest volcanoes in this area, in Central Europe. And sometimes you can even feel earthquakes, which is pretty special for a landlocked country.
Now we would ride down the hill and head to the historic town of Cheb. This was the shortest leg of the day's ride, at only 5.5 kilometers. But it was some of the most beautiful scenery we saw. We passed by a huge field of yellow flowers and followed the Skalka Reservoir. Shortly after entering Cheb, we met up with the local guide that would show us around.
One of the most iconic parts of this town are these buildings here in the old city center and the old square called Czech. And they're famous because they were the merchant buildings, the very first homes in the entire town. And what's really cool is in between them there's two rows and there's this tiny alley. So come on, we're gonna walk through it.
Later, we stopped by a monastery garden. It was really nice, so we stayed for a bit admiring the beauty before heading to the town's castle with the famous Black Tower. There was a small medieval fair going on, and here we would get to taste our first Czech pastry.
What is this?
This is traditional Czech pastry. You can get it in a small town like Cheb, and this is the traditional stuff you should get when you travel in the Czech Republic.
It's pretty good. It's almost like a Danish.
Yeah.
A little bit softer.
Right. It's delicious.
We left the castle and decided to stop and have a late lunch since we did not think we could make it to dinner.
By now you've probably seen I'm riding with two other people. I'm riding with Garrett, who's helping me out filming the entire trip, so he's going to be there the whole way. Hůrka is coming with me for 3 days, but we're talking maybe he'll stay a little bit longer.
Maybe a little
He's
longer.
from Czech and he's been like super helpful. He knows the language, but he's been sharing a lot of the culture with us, what to eat, what not to eat, what to do, what to say, and all that stuff.
What to drink.
What to drink. Czech water.
Liquid bread.
Best. Liquid bread.
Hůrka helped us order a typical Czech dish. We decided to get the duck with dumplings and sauerkraut. It was delicious. But now it was time to complete the final leg of the journey, back to Františkovy Lázně. We were starting to get a little tired, but no one wanted to show it since it was the first day of the journey. From Cheb to Františkovy Lázně was around 8.7 kilometers. We finally arrived and took some time to explore and see a few things.
Alright, we made it back to Františkovy Lázně. We rode 30 kilometers. Feeling pretty good. It was a great day one. It's down in the books tomorrow. We got 61 kilometers. Do you think we can make it? Well, you better stay tuned. So until next time, see you later.
On day 2, we will leave Františkovy Lázně, visit the historic town of Locket, try some beer from a local brewery, and end up in the famous spa town of Karlovy Vary. To see tons of great photos from the journey, or to post your own shots, be sure to check out these hashtags on Instagram. Don't leave yet. There's tons of great videos to keep watching. More importantly, did you subscribe yet?